The tagline for this: she reinvented music. He reinvented movies. Together, they'll reinvent the concert experience. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. I'm Mark. That's Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
So the other night we got to see a movie that neither of us, I don't think, was going to hate per se.
No. I mean,
we just didn't think we were the audience for it.
No.
Which is weird because it's a music movie, and you love music.
I do.
I mean, I like music, but I'm an old timer. This is Billie Eilish, "Hit Me Hard and Soft," the tour live in 3D. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Co-directed by James Cameron.
Yes.
One of my no, I can't even say that. A director in Hollywood that has made a lot of movies and money.
Sure. Some of those movies you've actually liked too.
Some of those movies I love. I love some James Cameron, and there's some other movies.
Yeah.
I could live in a world without them. But in this case, we're watching Billie Eilish do a concert in Manchester, I believe.
Yeah, it was shot in two locations. I think the Manchester, and then there was someone also in the States. I don't recall.
Yeah.
Right.
So, first off, she's very popular. She's very talented. Let's get this out of the way. In no way, I think, are either of us going to run down people that like Billie Eilish.
No.
Because those are the same people that we don't want running us down for liking the music that we like. That said, she's really not in my wheelhouse. She would be closer to yours.
Yeah. She, and I had seen her. She played Austin City Limits, and she played right before The Cure, which is why I was there. But I do have to take a moment and say, and it actually is very relevant to this review, that her fans are awesome. I've been to a lot of festivals, mingled with a lot of fans of bands that I'm not necessarily familiar or friendly with, if that makes sense.
Right.
But they were great. They were some of the the nicest, kindest people that I've ever run into at a festival. And festivals don't necessarily
they don't breed niceness.
No.
If you watch the news.
I mean, you're out in the heat. You're doing whatever it is. You're waiting all day to see one particular band, or a couple of bands or whatnot. And
yep.
But they were just the loveliest of people that I could have spent an afternoon with, that I had little to nothing seemingly in common with.
Yep.
And a lot of this film, for better or for worse, is about the relationship between the fans and the artist.
Yep.
I think occasionally it's to its detriment, but I also think some of its strongest moments are about that.
I don't disagree at all. I mean, because you're a Cure guy, and I don't know if there's a Cure documentary out there that deals with this stuff. I'm a Rush guy. There's a couple movies, documentary type films about Rush that deal with them and their fans, and so that with any artist, that is important. The relationship they have with their fans is important. Whether they take it seriously or not, whether they care or don't care, but that relationship exists, and it affects the music and how it's done. So in this one, look, I want to get the big whale out of the way right now.
Which one is that?
It's the 3D whale.
No, that one.
Look, I have said for the longest time, 3D is a gimmick. James Cameron is the biggest pusher / 3D snake oil salesman out there. That said, in this movie, might be the worst 3D I've ever seen. And I'll tell you why, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not.
Sure.
The concert environment is so busy. There are lights and flames and distance because it's an arena, and cable drops and everything else, that the camera, when it's bad, it's not good. There are a couple of shots that that pop up in here where I'm like, that's a really good 3D shot, but they tend to be quieter or stiller shots.
Yeah.
And that just kind of expose the scale of what's going on. But other than that, for this guy, did not work.
I don't disagree. I think there were maybe a couple scenes where it worked. I mean, I know what it's like to have someone put their arms in front of my face. And,
Oh my God. Yeah.
And so there are elements of like, yeah, well, those are the elements of the concerts that we maybe don't want to remember. I think it was used less. When it was used effectively, it was just sort of there, I guess. There was, this wasn't one of those films where the 3D felt necessary at all.
Right.
It didn't really add anything. I guess maybe there's the confetti falling, or there's a couple moments, but even those, I don't know that I could justify the 3D effect. So,
Yeah,
but it's not the worst I've ever seen. The worst I've ever seen was whatever that second Titans movie was, where they rushed that through 3D and had babies with like necks sticking out further than their face and just stuff like. I mean, that was an atrocious thing.
Is this not also going to be an IMAX?
Yeah.
See, no, I would rather have watched a straight IMAX, and I think that would have been more impressive.
Yeah, I think it could be, but I think the one thing that bothers me the most about this film is the audio mix. In that never did I feel like I was actually at a concert. I felt like I was watching a concert movie, but the audio is so front loaded, with very little activity in the rear speakers. And I know this is geekery, but it is a concert. It is a concert film.
Therefore, sound is important.
And I've seen many concert films that have done far better of this. It just wasn't. There was no immersive quality to this film whatsoever. Not from the 3D, and definitely not from the audio mix. And those would be my biggest complaints about the whole experience.
Okay.
I don't even feel like. I don't even feel like I really got the sense of what that concert was like.
Yeah, well, we'll split hairs on that. I mean, it's hard for one artist to fill that much space.
Yes.
So it is a little difficult, but let's talk about that for a second. We talked about her fans and what lovely people they are. She absolutely knows how to work her audience.
Yes.
Even in an arena that big with a center stage that runs the floor. And it's just her, and she works it all.
Yeah, she's really the only featured character. Obviously, there's some backing people who occasionally shed a spotlight, but this isn't like this isn't like a U2 show where you actually have, a bassist, a guitarist, and a singer and a drummer who are all taking their moments of the spotlight, or moving to different parts of the stage, or whatever, however you want to. She is literally running around the stage, basically running circles through the entire show.
Yeah.
And my only comparison that I've ever been to a concert that was similar to this was Rod Stewart, which I kind of went to, kind of ironically, but because the band doesn't really matter. The band can do whatever they want, and they literally don't matter. And the way Rod Stewart made his show interesting was he changed his clothes after every 2 songs.
Right.
So it was like a new outfit every 2 songs, and then there was a moment where he started kicking soccer balls into the audience, which, it was at Delta Center, I believe, or whoever. But this might have been Salt Palace days. I don't remember. Anyway, but it felt, I guess, natural for a sports arena. But so it is a weird thing because it really is a one-woman show with a backing band,
right?
So there is a lot asked of her.
And let's be clear about this. I've seen Pink live.
Okay.
She does not put on the same type of spectacle show that Pink does.
No.
She's not up there. She's not in a harness aerializing.
No. None of that.
Oh, none of that. She runs. I mean, she goes up on a platform a couple of times.
Yeah.
But it's literally just up so that she can be higher up, and then down so she can be down.
And then she's got a B stage, which is at one end of the audience as well, where she goes over there for a couple songs, which is kind of traditional. Pyrotechnics. There are those. A lot of lights. Not even a lot of. At least this film didn't capture a lot of video elements on the screen. There are times where she's filming the audience, and that clearly was up on the screen, and everyone was excited about that and whatnot. But yeah, this wasn't. There were no dancers.
Nope.
There was no choreography to speak of.
Nope.
So yeah, this is in a lot of ways this is an anti-stadium arena sort of performance. So it is, but again, it speaks the relationship that she has with her fans and how passionate her fans are about the music, which is I don't think, like, I can't say that I would enjoy this film based on the spectacle, because there really wasn't much.
No.
So if you're not into the music, there's not going to be a lot here for you, and that's not necessarily meant as an insult. It's just kind of how it is, and it's kind of how she has set herself up. You know, and her show when I saw her in Austin was, you know, it's still on just a regular stage rather than doing in the round, was very much the same. It was, you know, really all about her interacting with the crowd and being surrounded by people who ate it up was fun. You know, that element. So maybe if you go and you're surrounded by a lot of people who are enjoying it, and you just let yourself go and ride off their emotional, commitment, then it could be fun. But I don't know that you can do that in a movie like this.
Yeah, there you go. And maybe if it had been more, I mean, they tried to introduce some fan stuff later.
Yeah, about halfway through, and it might have been too late.
It might have been too late. But they were having fun. Look, so she puts on a great show, right? That's a great show.
If you're into the music, it's a phenomenal show. If you're not into the music, you can at least appreciate the effort and the talent. And I will say that because I would have seen her, I probably was off the first record when I saw her.
Right.
And she was kind of I don't want to say a one-trick pony, but a lot of her stuff was very similar. And she since then has released a couple of records and has clearly either learned how to use her voice or has started to use her voice more than she did on that first record. And so there, from like a music perspective, it was kind of nice to see, okay, she actually has a fair bit of talent, that it wasn't really just kind of a one and done sort of thing.
Mumblings into it.
Yeah, so that was nice.
Because her early work is dark.
It is, and it's whispery.
It's mumbling.
Yeah, and it was nice to see her come out and actually, sing.
I made a note during the film. I said she clearly takes her voice very seriously.
Yeah, more seriously than most artists do.
Yeah. So there's a partner. She's like, hold on, I have to FaceTime with my vocal coach. And Cameron films that.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, and you're watching, she gets it. She is not coasting. Anyone to think that she like had a big first record and now she's just going to coast, she's working. Whether you like her music or not, you cannot deny that A, she is working, and B, she is talented. She does have a good voice, which is nice. But yeah, clearly, like I said, this isn't either of our first choice for a concert. And like I said, there's some shortcomings, I think, with the way it was filmed. Two more notes that I made during the film that I scratched down real quick was, one is like, I have never seen so much ugly crying. Full on snot from the fans. I mean, they are emotionally invested in a way that I'm no professional, but it seems to border on the unhealthy. And two, as much as clearly as hard as she's working during the show, and she seems to be having a good time, Phineas shows up, spoiler alert, in two spots, and it seems genuine that she did not know he was going to be there, because at the beginning, there's a point in this where she starts the tour where he sends her flowers and says, you're going to do great. I got to go do my stuff, but you're going to do great. So he shows up, and the look on her face and in the numbers that she does with him, that almost feels like that's not her in front of 20,000 people in this arena. That's her goofing off in her bedroom again.
Well, yeah, it's just basically a piano and voice, and it's very stripped back. It's the
but even her mood, seemed
no, she doesn't run around during those songs really.
No,
it's more of a traditional, concert in that sense. At that point, it's the acoustic set that a lot of people break things up with. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if she knew he was there or not, but they're definitely, it's nice to see that they genuinely seem to like each other still.
Right. Yeah.
And that she openly, and she always has, acknowledges that he, without him, who knows where she would be. He is a, I can't say that he's not talented. He is talented. Might not be my flavor of the week, but there is obviously a lot of talent between the two, and that they've nurtured each other. And she's probably helped him as much as he's helped her over the years and whatnot, and kind of exploring, which is, those are some musical relationships are just phenomenal. And it's a lot of times between two people, Page and Plant, or whatnot, and
and their relationship outside the music seems healthy, because there's a lot of musical collaborations that are incredible,
sure,
and completely not healthy.
No, it's based on the friction rather than the friendship.
Yeah, I mean, Buckingham and
Fleetwood Mac would be
most of Fleetwood Mac did not get along, and is incredible.
No, there's a lot of bands. Bauhaus would be that way. That they can only stand to be around each other for so long, but the sparks that they produce is worth the price of admission.
Oasis.
Yeah. The brothers there. No, I mean, I have really mixed feelings about Oasis. I don't hate them, but when you live in England for certain parts of your life, and they're like the biggest thing in the world, and you're just kind of like,
I'm agnostic.
It's just they're fine. They're fine. But yes, the attitude's there. When I saw Noel do some Oasis songs, I was perfectly fine that Liam wasn't there.
Right.
But
he probably was too.
He probably was as well. Yeah, that's yeah. But no, unfortunately, I think the audio mix was my biggest disappointment. The use of 3D was not great, but it's that audio mix for me. I want to feel what it's like to be there, and I don't know that I really did. And early on, she cuts to the fans a lot without kind of establishing that relationship thing or what's going on. So it almost feels like a distraction. And I know that those were parts that she probably insisted on putting in. Because, she's co-director, and, for her, it is all about the fans. And I think that was her way of, most of the songs you have cutaways to fans singing and things. And I get it, but it doesn't make for a great film necessarily. Because like you said, a lot of it is just, it's ugly crying. And I've been to plenty of shows where there's ugly crying. And I can appreciate that, is it unhealthy? I don't know. I mean, they found something that they can rely on. The hope there, of course, is that they find something else at some point.
Exactly.
It helps them get through whatever they're going through, and maybe they connect with people at the shows, and they start having relationships with people rather than an artist that they don't really have any contact with, really. But no, but I can appreciate what the people said, and the way they felt, and the way she interacted with them, and so, I mean, if we're looking at does this paint her in a good light? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It makes me leave feeling like, she works hard. She interacts with the fans in a way that's genuine and important.
And she doesn't hide behind dancers and choreography and whatnot, which is nice.
Which, let's be clear, I love spectacle shows as well. I mean, but If you want to talk about ugly crying, when I saw Taylor Swift, there was a lot of ugly crying.
Yeah, probably.
And what was strange is I was in the family section.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I got in. Is there was an extra family ticket, or I don't, a crew ticket as they call it, which is it's all the crew's family and whatnot who were there, and there was a fair amount of ugly crying there. But that show was so radically different from this one as well, because that one is a lot of spectacle. But yeah, I just wish that I had a better sense of the concert experience, or it's just that audio mix. It bugs me, and it's not that the band didn't play well, and they were like, no, it's it's
No,
not that
she
they
does.
play
She does.
well.
She's got some kicking bass lines.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah,
Those
the
were
bass.
great. Oh
What's
my
his, I
God.
think Solomon or Solo or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, no, I mean, there's great stuff there, and I think that's kind of what pissed me off about watching it, is because that should be surrounding me. You can even you can do more in that environment than you can in a concert, and they didn't even do what I feel like is the bare minimum.
Right. So there you go. If you're an Eilish fan, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, go see it. Absolutely.
If you like music or concert videos, go see it and kind of get a feel for it. Unless you hate her, in which case don't do it.
I don't know why.
I don't know anyone that hates her. I mean,
you shouldn't. I mean, she's. I mean, I can imagine being. No, I don't have any. I have no reason to hate her whatsoever.
No, I don't either. So here's two more things I want to throw at you, and then I'm going to actually ask you to talk about a movie you saw that I didn't.
No.
So on IMDb, because I have to write the review for this, when I go down and I pick up, cast and director, so I can get all that information for the review. The tagline for this: she reinvented music. He reinvented movies. Together, they'll reinvent the concert experience. At least two of the three of those statements are false.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then the other one? So at some point in the film, because James Cameron is on screen a lot.
Yes, he is.
And he's got, so he's talking at some point, and she's talking about how they're going to do this light and this motion, and can we do this? Can we get a camera here? And he's like, yeah, I think we can do that. Blah 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 blah. And at one point he goes, you're directing this. He goes, this is going to say directed by Billie Eilish. And then down at the bottom of the little letters, it's going to say with James Cameron. And he gets top billing as director.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it didn't happen that way.
Cute. Yeah, it did not happen that way. I'm sure at the end he was like, no, I can't let that happen. So
his thing would probably be like, oh, I didn't do the titles.
Yeah,
someone else did the titles.
Oh, they did it. They did it in alphabetical order, and C comes before E.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it was a Directors Guild issue.
Yeah, if it was me, I probably wouldn't have had that comment in the film.
Right? I would have cut it,
because it when it proves not to be true, it does cheapen. He may have been dead serious, and they like you said, there's some union thing that requires, but whatever.
Yeah.
The reason is it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Pull it out. It's one more reason James Cameron.
Yeah,
James Cameron.
He still might have a good movie in him, but I don't know.
I'm not sure where he's hiding it. I don't know. He's probably under the other 3 Avatar scripts. Yeah. The Abyss 2. This time it's personal. No, I don't know, but I loved The Abyss. I
was gonna say there are a lot of James Cameron films that I love, and so it's kind of painful that the Avatar films haven't been very good,
generally speaking.
Yeah.
Fact. So there you go. I would recommend people go see it. Said if you're a music fan, especially if you're an Eilish fan, it's an interesting watch. And like I said, and if you're a fan of her music, obviously you're gonna love it. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I think we're in about the same place.
Yeah. I just wish that it represented her better.
Yeah.
Like as far as the performance goes, the other part, the behind the scenes stuff, it represents her fantastically.
Yes, she comes off wonderfully, but the concert, is a little lacking. So there you go. So yeah, that's it. It's in theaters this Friday, May 8th.
Mm-hmm.
So check it out. Now you saw a movie at a horror movie real quick that
Yeah.
I did not watch. I wanted to see it until you told me what you're about to tell everyone else
Yeah.
about this movie. So tell us about Hokum.
Hokum, yeah. Well, ironically, the reason why we ended up saying Hokum was because Animal Farm didn't play after 6 because it's a kids' film, and apparently that would have been an even worse experience than what I had. So
That's what I heard.
yes, but anyway, Hokum, yeah, it's writer, arrogant writer who is not very good with fandom. Goes to a remote Scottish, I think it is, hotel that apparently was built over something, although what it was built over isn't exactly clear. But at some point, they do explain that the hotel itself is not connected to the basement that is beneath the hotel. And that's kind of like, yeah, why is that? Anyway, that's kind of how the whole movie is. Adam Scott's in this film. I just didn't feel like anyone was completely convinced by the script. There's murder and ghost stories and this honeymoon suite that for some reason the ghost is haunted. And part of it, you're kind of like, well, you've got so many different little stories going on here. Like you have crazy guy in the woods who does mushrooms and killed his wife apparently, and I mean there's just so much like folklore and things going on, and so little of it ever actually connects to what you're watching that it's like, well, why didn't you just pick, either that they're the at the very beginning the owner of the hotel is telling little kids a scary story, and why not that, because that doesn't end up having anything to do with the film. And what it feels like there are lots of things that happen in this film that just don't feel connected to anything in the script.
And that's bad.
And that's bad. And there are things that just make no sense. That there's a moment where the character ends up with handcuffs on that according to the logic of the film, those handcuffs shouldn't have been put on that individual because they protected themselves and blah blah. Anyway, but it's moments like that where you're just like, wait a minute, I thought I at least understood some of the rules, and maybe it was only one or two rules, and you broke the one or two rules that I understood.
And so basically, that phrase we like to use, internal logic,
it's lacking it entirely.
Oh, that's bad.
And there's a moment that's supposed to be a cathartic moment for the character that has to do with his mother and his relationship with his mother, but it's so poorly set up, that it just feels like, oh, you stuck that in because maybe that was your original idea for the script, that 4 drafts in doesn't even really work anymore. It doesn't, I mean, they're just, I guess it was nicely shot.
Looks good.
Well, it was a little dark actually. A lot of it was a little dark, but the issue really was with a lack of focus, and kind of maybe they wanted to play off this thing. It's like, well, you think it's about folklore and whatnot, and it's not. Well, then what is it about? What was this basement that they built over? Was it another building? Did that building burn down? What was there? Why is the basement not a part of the building? And not that the basement does feel like a part of the building. It doesn't. It feels like a completely different realm.
Weird.
Anyway, it was a frustrating film. I don't know that it was terrible, but it certainly wasn't good.
Gotcha. That's sad. Oh, well, so Hokum is a miss. This Friday, we have, if we want to see it, we have to go see it ourselves. And that's Mortal Kombat 2, which hopefully will be better than the worst parts of Mortal Kombat 1.
I have only seen one title of a review, and it was not promising.
Oh, that's not good.
I was
I did rewatch part 1 yesterday because I felt like I should.
Yeah.
And there, maybe I was too harsh on it the first time. I don't remember exactly what I said.
Yeah.
But it's still not a great film.
No, I think I mean, it runs into the problem where the video game only had so much narrative.
Yeah.
And if you're not really interested in building out the narrative, which is, it doesn't really feel like they are, it's more about getting the characters in and their taglines and, whatnot than it is about making sense of the video game logic, which, the game makes perfect sense in a video game.
Right.
You just want to beat everyone and, save the world or whatever.
And tear out their spines.
Yeah, well, if you can, sure.
If you can.
But yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll see it. I'm not sure. But you want to think that they could do better than they did with the first one, and the one headline that I saw kind of worries me.
Well, like I said, it's got Carl Urban, and it's an action movie, and he does like comedy, and he does good action movies. So I'm hoping that I can at least enjoy him.
He is the reason why I would see the film.
Yeah. So we shall see, and if we both see it, we will report on that. If not, I will report on that. But that's literally, I was looking. It's like Friday is my day off. It's like, okay, I want to go see a movie. What is available for me to see that I have not already seen?
You could go see some sheep talking again.
I could, but I think the wife would be upset if I took her without that, because she enjoyed that too. Yeah. But so it's like Mortal Kombat 2. I want to see Over Your Dead Body, but it's only showing at 10 p.m.
Yeah, that was that was one of our options as well, but because it was so late, it was just kind of like normally it wouldn't have been a big deal, but this weekend it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were other films that even Hokum was not our.
It wasn't your first choice.
Wasn't our first choice, although apparently it's far better than what our first choice was. So
yeah, I'm debating whether I want to see, because I can see Animal Farm and Mortal Kombat 2.
I just my inclination is there's no point.
There's no point. I know.
Everything I've heard about it, that it's not really what the book was, and it's not, so
I hate to trash a film that I haven't watched. So I don't want to trash Animal Farm, but apparently it's easy.
I'm disinterested is I think what has happened.
I probably said it. Oh, I said it when we talked about the Sheep Detectives. I said it's going to be far better than that other talking animal movie.
Yeah.
And I believe I've been proven right. And I think I've been saying that Animal Farm was going to be terrible for months, just based on gut feel and the damn trailer that they kept showing at the theater.
I somehow I had tuned that out entirely. So
yeah, there you go. Poor Andy Serkis. Yeah. So there you go. So, we don't have any movies next week. But on Monday, the 18th, yep, we have, Mandalorian and Grogu, which, I guess now we can confirm is after season 3.
Yes.
It's like, well, he's got a Razor Crest, which was destroyed at the end of season 1 or during season 1. So, but apparently he gets another one.
Yeah.
So it's after season 3. We will see how they recover from that. That ending.
And I wasn't a hater, but
I didn't hate it, but I understood why some people didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I had some issues with it, but again, I still like the format and some of the stuff they did. And again, it was no Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, heavens no.
So there's that. Thank goodness for that. Remember,
know your audience and what they want.
Yeah, and let's remember, the only episode and a half of Book of Boba Fett that was any good were the ones with
the Mandalorian
in it. That were Mandalorian episodes.
Yes.
So there you go. So hopefully the movie's good and we'll have a good time. Speaking of, that's the Monday after Gem State Comic-Con where I will be. So like I said, I'll be at Gem State for at least Friday and part of Saturday, and I'll be seeing Bruce Campbell touring his movie Friday night up in Boise. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then Memorial Day weekend after Mandalorian, the weekend that Mandalorian and Grogu opens, I'll be down in Houston for Comic Palooza. If you're in the Houston area and you go, I'll be there. Talking with our buddy Craig Price.
Yes, good dude, good friend of the show.
Good friend of the show. We've been on there several times. He's been over here. It's great, lovely, wonderful, and we'll be talking with him. So be sure and check us out. But until then, don't forget to like us, follow us on social media. Go to the website, vsmoviepodcast.com. You'll get all that stuff. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe. That is always welcome. If you enjoy what we're doing, let us know. Leave us a review where you listen to podcasts if you do that sort of thing. That would be awesome as well. Till we talk again, be good, stay safe, go see a good movie in theaters. They are there. This weekend, we talked about The Sheep Detective. It also opens this weekend. Check it out. Talking sheep. Better than talking pigs. I'm Mark. That's Ryan. Bye, Ryan.
See you, folks.
And we'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.